In this video, I will teach you a way to categorize stocks. This is a three-part mini video series. So I have divided this material into three different parts. So three different videos. This is the first part. Now, why is categorization important? Let us say that you do your scanning today and you come up with stocks which you will put on your buy alert list for tomorrow. Let's say you select three stocks. Now, those three stocks, they don't have the same characteristics. Okay, they are different stocks. These stocks have different personalities. Okay, one of those stocks could be comparatively strong, technically strong, fundamentally strong. The second stock could be comparatively strong, technically strong, but fundamentally weak. Another stock could be comparatively strong, fundamentally strong, but technically weak, right? So, not all three stocks are the same. They have different characteristics. So, we need to categorize. We need to know which stock belongs to what category. And this helps us manage the position better. So, this video series is very important. So there are total 8 different scenarios which I will discuss, not in this video, but the next two videos. But first, I want to discuss the basic analysis that we do on any stock. If you select any stock, okay, I will do three kinds of analysis on that stock. One is comparative analysis, one is technical analysis, and one is fundamental analysis. Why do I do this? Because I want to know whether the stock is strong or weak in each of these three departments. Okay. A stock could be fundamentally strong but technically weak. Okay. Or a stock could be technically strong or fundamentally weak. Or a stock could be technically and fundamentally strong but comparatively weak. Okay. So I want to know in each of these three departments whether my stock is strong or weak. I just give two possibilities. I don't have the third possibility because I am a very strong advocate of keeping things simple. Okay. It's either strong or it's weak. There is nothing in the middle. Okay. Moreover, I am a trader, not an investor. So I don't have time to read the annual report of a company, study the balance sheet, and things like that. So I'm going to limit myself to only three factors in each of these departments to determine whether my stock is strong or weak in each of these three departments. So for each department, I will ask only three questions, not more than that, because those are the three critical questions for me to determine whether the stock is strong or weak in that particular department. If I start asking myself 10 questions, then I'm dealing with 30 questions here. Okay. So since I am asking only three questions per department, I only have to deal with 9 questions. So that makes my job simpler because I'm scanning hundreds of stocks, maybe 700, 800 stocks every week. So I can't be asking too many questions to myself. Okay. It will lead to burnout. So I have selected the three most important factors in each of these departments that tell us whether the stock is strong or weak. And you already know that. If you have been following my video content for a while, you know what three factors I look for. But I want to show them to you in this video so that it becomes clear. So remember, moral of the story, let me summarize what I have told you till now. You need to categorize stocks because when you have 3 stocks or 5 stocks on your watch list, you need to know which stock belongs to what category. That will help you manage the position better. Example, if a stock is strong in all the three categories, I will give it more time. I will give it more room to fluctuate. However, if a stock looks technically weak, it might be fundamentally weak. I might not give it more time. I will buy it on the 15-minute chart. And if I don't get the follow through, I will immediately sell the stock because those kind of stocks carry bigger risk than a stock which is strong in all the three departments. So remember, categorization of stocks is important to know what kind of situation you are dealing with. And once you understand what kind of situation you are dealing with, you will be able to manage the position better. Ultimately, everything boils down to risk management. We are not traders, we are risk managers. Okay. So first, let us look at comparative analysis. What are the three things that I look for? So first is leading stocks. I want to look at stocks with high relative strength. Okay, preferably 80 or more. If not 80, the minimum relative strength of the stock should be 70. Now, I will not discuss with you on this video what is relative strength. There are a tons of videos I have made discussing what is a relative strength. Okay, so I want a stock which is a leading stock in the market. Next is leading industry group. Okay, so every stock belongs to an industry group, and these industry groups have ranks. So I want to be in the top 20 percentile. Again, industry group rank should be between 1 and 40. The total number of industry groups are 197. If the industry group rank falls beyond 40, so if the industry group rank is 65 or 75, at least I want to see the industry group rank improving. So let's say 6 months ago, the industry group rank of the stock was 125, and now it is 65. So which means it has improved. So I see improvement. Okay. Next is institutional demand. So if you have MarketSmith platform, then MarketSmith gives rating. So if the institutional demand is A rated or B rated, then that's a stock which has demand. If you don't have MarketSmith, then you can check institutional demand on TradingView on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, you will notice that when the price goes up, the volume is above average. But when the price goes down, or when it closes down on the weekly chart, the volume is very small. That's a sign of institutional accumulation. Okay. So I'm looking for leading stocks in leading industry groups with good institutional demand. So that tells me whether the stock is comparatively strong or comparatively weak. Now, please note very important point here. If the stock is weak in any of these three areas, for me, it is weak. There is nothing called as medium strong or very strong or less strong. I don't go into all of those scenarios. There could be infinite number of scenarios. Okay, I just want to know whether it's strong or weak. So let me give you an example. Let's say my stock belongs to the leading industry group and it has institutional demand as well. But the relative strength of the stock is, let's say, 55. Okay, for me, it is weak. Okay, even if one of the factors is weak, it's weak in that comparative department. Okay, so please understand that if a stock makes you think whether it is strong or weak, that means it is weak. Let me repeat that. If a stock makes you think that whether the stock is strong or weak, then you have to assume that the stock is weak. Okay, because a strong stock will stand out in front of you. It will have high relative strength. It will come from a very high rank as far as industry group is concerned, and it will have institutional demand. So it is going to be very strong. You don't have to think. In couple of seconds, you will know that the stock is strong. Okay, comparatively. So that's comparative analysis. Next is technical. Technical, we ask only three questions. Number one, is the stock in a stage two uptrend? So blue, green, red, the moving averages. Is it forming a base? Okay, so if the stock is trending up, I will not buy the stock because it is extended. But if it is forming a base, I am interested. Number three, what kind of a base it is? Is it an early stage base? Is it a middle stage base? Is it a late stage base? If it's a late stage base, my risk is high. If it's an early stage base, I have a big upside potential. Okay. And the base, there are 10 different factors to identify the quality of the base. I have made a separate video to figure out how high quality or low quality is the base. Okay. Now, if you notice these three factors, again, in the base, I look for minimum 10 candles. Now, imagine a base which has got 7 candles. So for me, the stock is technically weak. Now, it could be in a stage two uptrend. So the blue, green, red is there. The moving averages are in line. It could be early stage. So these two factors are fine. The uptrend and the early stage is fine. But since it has only got 7 candles in the base, for me, it is technically weak. So I will have to wait for 3 more days to declare to myself, okay, now the stock has become technically strong. Till that time, it is weak for me. Again, I repeat, if it is not strong, it is weak. Okay. If it is not strong in all the three departments, it is weak. That is how I look at stocks. Because you might end up with a stock with a good industry group with high institutional demand, but if the relative strength is like 45 or 55, you are taking unnecessary risk. Okay. Again, if the stock is in an uptrend, if the stock is in early stage or middle stage, you are looking at a good stock. Okay, great upside potential. But if the base is not completed, you are taking unnecessary risk. That is why I say, if it is not strong in all the three departments, it is weak. Period. No arguments there, no second thoughts there. It has to become strong. Okay, in all the three factors for us to declare that it is strong technically. Okay. Next is fundamentals. Fundamentals, we ask only three questions. There is another factor which is return on equity, but not very important. So, sales, margins, earnings. We look at sales, we look at quarterly performance, we look at annual performance. Earnings, we look at quarterly performance, we look at annual performance. Margins, we see, we try to see whether there is margin expansion or not. So, 10 years ago, what was the margin of the company? Let's say it was 15%. Now it is 7%. Tell me whether the stock is strong or weak. It is weak because the margin has shrunk. Okay. But imagine 5 years ago, the margin was 10%. Now it is 25%. What has happened to the margin? It has expanded. Okay. So sales, margins, earnings. This is very important. So the stock, if it wants to be fundamentally strong, the margin needs to be improving. The sales growth should be there. The earnings growth should be there. So if it is weak in any one of these areas, okay, then it is weak fundamentally. Okay. Now, even earnings are not important. Imagine a company with rapidly growing sales and expanding margins. So what is happening with the company is the amount of product and service that they are selling, it is selling like a hotcake. So the sales are expanding by a huge uh, growth rate. On top of that, they are able to keep a bigger proportion of the sales as their profit because the margin is also expanding. So imagine what can happen to the earnings. The earnings will just explode. Okay. So it's not about the earnings, it's about sales and margins. So sales and margins are more important than earnings. Earnings is nothing but sales multiplied by margin, right? So sales and margins are important. So the company should be able to sell more of the product that they sold last year, significantly more. Plus, they should be able to keep more of the increased amount of sales that they have done. So increasing sales growth and improving margins. That is a company which is fundamentally strong. So these are the three factors we look for to determine whether the stock is strong comparatively, technically, and fundamentally. Now, this concept, once you practice it, it will take you like 5 seconds to figure out whether the stock is comparatively strong, technically strong, fundamentally strong. Okay. In MarketSmith, they have a single page where all of these data is displayed. You can quickly have a look. Within 5 to 10 seconds, you will know whether the stock is strong or weak in each of these departments. If you are using trading view, you can do certain navigations and you can figure out this data. Okay. At least technical and fundamental, you can easily figure out. Comparative analysis might take you some time because you will have to download the Excel sheet and you will have to find out the relative strength of the stock and things like that. I have explained that process in a separate video. But coming back to the point, when you determine that the stock is strong or weak in each of these departments, that will lead to 8 different scenarios. So we will discuss 4 scenarios in the second video and 4 scenarios in the third video. What are the 4 scenarios for the next video? The first scenario is the stock is comparatively strong, technically strong, fundamentally strong. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, the stock is comparatively strong, technically strong, fundamentally weak. That's scenario number 2. Scenario number three is the stock is comparatively strong, technically weak, fundamentally strong. Scenario number four is the stock is comparatively strong, technically weak, fundamentally weak. So, all four scenarios we will discuss in the next video, and I will tell you how to handle each of these scenarios. So, any stock you have on your watch list, okay, you can put that stock at on that day in one of these eight scenarios that I am about to discuss with you. And I will also show you for each scenario what should be your course of action. So that will help you manage the trade better. Like how much position size should you take in that company? Should you give it more time while doing trade execution? Should you manage the trade on the daily chart or the 15-minute chart? Is it a high risk stock or a low risk stock? Okay, all of these things we will discuss in the next couple of videos, so don't miss the next couple of videos. I will publish this video, and then next day I will publish the second video, next day I will publish the third video. So I hope you got value out of this kind of analysis. Will definitely improve your skill as a trader. It will definitely improve your performance. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support on this channel. Please like, comment, and share this video so that this video reaches those people who genuinely want to become professional stock traders like you. So that is why I need your support in this. Okay, so if you have any questions, doubts, just send me an email. I think you will find my email on my YouTube profile. Send me an email, connect with me on WhatsApp. Let us discuss this. Let us discuss this in the comment section as well. Thank you so much. I will see you in part 2 of this video. Take care. Have a fantastic day today.